Make it hurt. Make it hurt.
Is butter a carb?
Yes.
Got him. All right. There we are. So, okay, I'm just going on like nice little walk tonight because it's my rest day, and I just generally do some kind of active recovery. But they're tearing up my normal walking route, like, and repaving it right now, so I'm kind of lost. Anyway, so today I thought we would just kind of go over how, I guess, to not gain weight. Man, there's tons of bunnies out here. So a lot of you know, and some of you may not know, that I have recently lost about 100 pounds. It was over the course of about 2.5 years. So there are certain things that I do to not look like this. My first tip is weighing all my food. I weigh everything I eat. And if I, like, say I'm making something for Lexi, or I grab a couple of things that isn't weighed out, I guess, but I always make sure that I'm weighing the majority of my food. Some people say that once you get like comfortable with weighing your foods, that you don't have to anymore because you kind of know. And I don't feel like that is good for me. I do well with weighing and knowing exactly what I'm putting in my body because I've tried the flexible dieting and it just doesn't work for me. I either don't eat enough food and think I'm eating enough, like when I had Daphne and I was breastfeeding and I started to track my food, I found out that I was only eating about 600 calories a day, and that was obviously not going to be enough for me to sustain breastfeeding, which is why it only lasted 3 months, because I wasn't fueling my body properly. And now I'm doing more powerlifting type workouts that are really difficult, and I use a lot of energy during this. So I'm eating about 1,750 calories. If I don't weigh out my food, like I use liquid egg whites. Well, I don't know what a half a cup of liquid egg whites looks like. I just don't. So just weigh out your food. If you feel like it's comfortable and you've been doing it for a while and you're like, I got this, good on you. That's awesome, and I totally support that decision. It just doesn't work for me. So tip number 2, track. It's really important to make sure that you consistently track everything. So I consistently track everything in MyFitnessPal, and I do it the day before or like really early in the morning before I eat anything. So I have a thyroid disorder, so I have to take a pill and wait 30 minutes before I can eat or drink, like other than water. So within that 30 minutes, I wake up, I take my pill, and then within that 30 minutes, I am mapping out my day of eating. It stays pretty consistent. I don't eat anything like a lot of different foods, pretty much kind of usually just swipe right. But I eat 6 meals a day, smaller ones instead of eating 3 big ones, because that's just how it makes me feel good. I don't know that there's an exact science to it anymore. I think they've debunked that, but it's just what works best for me. And so I eat 6 meals a day. They're smaller, and then I just kind of eat very similar, or I might change up the protein, so I'll eat a lot of chicken or fish. I'm sorry, I don't eat fish, I eat shrimp. Ugh, fish is gross. It's yucky. So yeah, I eat a lot of chicken, like ground up turkey, tons of beef. I love beef. Red meat's my favorite. If I could eat steak every day, I totally would. But I don't. I mean, I guess I could. I just don't. Get sick of it. So make sure that you pre-plan out your meals, especially if you have like a set amount of calories that you're supposed to take. It's not so much about the macros, it's just about calories. So you can eat whatever you want because it's calories in versus calories out. But I like to count my macros, and the reason I like to count my macros is because when they're set right for my workouts, I feel better. And that might all be in my head. That is 1,000% possible that it's a mind thing, but I go based off of how my training is and how my body feels and how my mind clarity is. And for me to sit down and just make sure that my macros are right and I'm in a high protein, high carb diet, that's perfect for me. I just feel so much better. I don't meal prep per se. I used to, like a long time ago when it was just me or just me and Zach. We would meal prep because we both worked in an office outside of the home. But now, for probably like the last 2.5, 3 years, I just don't meal prep because I've been at home. I don't need to because I can just cook. And I don't have a lot of space in my fridge because I overbuy things for like specific things for Lexi so that I don't have to leave the house that much. We're just kind of in a special time right now, so I just don't meal prep. But what I will do is I'll weigh out what I need food-wise before I cook, and then I might cook like an extra portion of that so that I can have it the next day. So then that next day, one of my meals is already prepped and cooked. So, or at least a protein portion of it. Sometimes I'll overcook like the veg, but not necessarily always, because that is the one thing that I'll change up the most. And I almost always have rice cooked for a carb. Some people say that rice isn't a good carb to have, and it might not be, but it's easy for me to eat and it's fast. So like if I'm getting ready to go to the gym and I just need to throw in some carbs quick so that I have some energy, I'll eat those. Because I'm not much of a fruit person. I don't really like it. So I'd rather just shovel in a bunch of rice. That's just kind of how I am. I've always really liked rice, so I have that fancy rice maker and it's always got rice in it. So my fourth tip number 4, is to not necessarily take rest days. So I have, now I'm on a busy road. I have rest days, I'm not going into the gym to train as far as like I'm not lifting heavy weights. I am giving my body a break from lifting heavy, but I don't give my body a break from movement, right? So I'm on a walk right now. I went for a walk earlier. I might go on a bike ride, I might swim, something like that, just to make sure that your body is moving. I try to get in about 10,000 steps every day because it's good. It helps me keep my weight off. I am a person who weight comes really easily to me. I have shit genetics when it comes to that. And, I kind of, there's a bug on me. I don't do well in the nature. I kind of ruined my body when I allowed myself to get so overweight that now my body just wants to keep putting the weight back on. So it's really hard for me to lose weight and it's really easy for me to put it back on. So if I'm not careful, then I will gain my weight back. Siri. So we don't want to gain the weight back, we want to keep it off. So on my rest days, I just make sure to get in extra movement. And then on my regular days, I make sure to get in at least 10,000 steps. And it's really not that hard. Like if you say, I work in a desk job or like a office environment, that's okay. You can walk during meetings. Like I have a meeting that like a conference call every day. And during that conference call, I'm walking literally in circles in my small little home office because that gets me steps. And there's no reason for you. I guess if you're on like a Zoom call where they're watching you, maybe don't do it then. But mine's just on the phone, so I'm just walking circles and listen, chime in when I need to. But it helps me to just continue to be mobile and to move. So my fifth and final tip to keep weight off is consistency. So it is very important for you to continuously be consistent. And that's with like everything. Like you can't just be consistent in one thing and hope that all your weight stays off. You have to be consistent in everything. So I'm consistently tracking, I'm consistently keeping my foods where they need to be. There's no good or bad foods, it's just better foods, and everybody knows that. So you can come at me and saying, whatever, you can eat what you want. You can. That's what flexible dieting is. That's what macro counting is, but you just have to be smart. You have to consistently get in the gym. You can't go to the gym twice in 1 week and then not go at all, or go 5 times and then not go for 3 weeks. Like, you have to be consistent. It's just, it doesn't work if you don't keep up with it. And you make small changes in your diet, like, you know, swapping out regular sodas for diet. Damn kids. Or adding in, I don't know, powdered greens into a smoothie or something like that. I mean, I know it's hard to get used to sometimes, like it doesn't necessarily taste the best, but I don't know a single person who had their first taste of a beer and was like,
I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another.
even though the greens might be gross, add them. They help. Even if they just help you poop. Can't complain about that. So yeah, be consistent, get in the gym, stay healthy. Don't overdo it, but also don't take it too seriously. I mean, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but give yourself a little bit of grace, like have a little bit of fun sometimes if you want to go on a vacation and maybe not necessarily track everything. Do you, have fun. Not gonna kill you. So that's gonna wrap up this video. It's just gonna be short today, just for this little walk. I'm almost back to my starting point. So pretty though. And my legs are severely bitten. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Very excited. That one's gonna be awesome. Give me a like if you are new. Subscribe again if you're new. Give me a like if you're not new. Give me a high five or comment or hey, what's up? We appreciate it all. And I'll see you guys in the next one.